Hi, my name is James. I'm a knee, foot and ankle specialist, and today I'm going to talk you through the best Asics walking shoes. So we're going to cover shoes that include max stability, neutral, max cushioning and waterproof shoes. Hopefully by the end of the video you'll have a better idea of what shoe works best for you. So the first shoe we're going to talk about is the Asics Gel-Kayano 31, which is a max cushion, max stability shoe. So it's got FF Blast cushioning, which is super soft, so you sink into the shoe when you initiate contact with it. It feels like you're walking on a cloud. Super soft, super luxurious. It provides stability by having a wide base of support underneath your foot. Has some sole flare, so where the sole comes out wider than where your foot sits in the shoe. And it has a 4D guidance system where there's a little tab underneath the arch of your foot, and you can, if you like the sensation of something pushing up into your foot under the arch to give you stability, this is an excellent shoe for you. It also has some sidewalls on the inside and the outside of the shoe. They help cradle the heel and stop it from sliding side to side if you're changing direction. It's got nice little pods underneath the shoe to give mild stability on wet terrain and mild trails, so it can give you plenty of stability on concrete and tarmac. It's got plush cushioning on top, so it's a sock-like fit, so you just slide into the shoe, and it's got lots of space in the toe box. So in the normal fit we had no problems with the width. For instance, on a Hoka shoe we normally have to get a wider shoe. However, plenty of space in this, no issues with a true to size length. It's got a nice padded tongue on top that's gusseted, so it's stitched in, and it's got loads and loads of padding around the heel counter, so it's really comfortable. You just slip in and just hold your foot in place. So if you're looking for a max stability, max cushion walking shoe, the Gel-Kayano 31 is an excellent option. Then in contrast to that, if you're looking for more of a neutral shoe, you've got the Asics Gel-Cumulus 26. So it's also got the FF Blast cushioning, so it's super soft. You sink into the shoe, really comfortable. It doesn't have the 4D guidance system, but it does have some stability by having some sole flare in the forefoot, and it has milder sidewalls on the heel, so it doesn't come up as high, and it's not as intrusive. This is designed for if you're looking for a neutral shoe that's super comfortable, nice and soft. It has a little bit of energy return to it, so it gives you a bit of a push back. It's assisted by this nice forefoot rocker, so you can see that from the midfoot to the forefoot, it just curves upward, and that just helps push you through the gait cycle. On top, it's got an engineered mesh. It's a little bit short, this shoe, so often you need to get a half size up. It's got plenty of space in the toe box, but it does come in a wide version as well. It's got a thinner tongue than what you get on the Kayano. It's a little bit lighter of a shoe as well, and it's got less padding around the heel cup. So if you're looking for a neutral shoe that gives you a bit more spring, a bit more energy return, then the Cumulus can be a good option for you. Then, if you're looking for a waterproof shoe that has some stability, you've got the Asics GT-2000 version 12, which is Gore-Tex. So Gore-Tex is just a single layer that runs through the engineered mesh on top that makes it still breathable but also waterproof. It's a mild stability shoe, so you've got elements of stability via the 3D guidance system in the GT2000. So it has sole flare, a wide base of support and bigger sidewalls, again helping to cradle your foot, give it some stability. It's got a stiff heel counter which reduces how much your foot moves on top of the shoe. And underneath it's got a bit more AHR rubber outsole, so you have these small lugs that provide extra stability, so the shoe can be used on wet terrain, grassy terrain, mild to moderate trails. It's got plenty of grip underneath. Then on top you've got plenty of space in the toe box, no problems with the length, so it's a true to size fit. A little bit thinner over tongue on top that's gusseted, and you got plenty of padding around the heel counter. So if you're looking for a little bit of stability and a waterproof shoe that you can use off-road as well as on-road, then the Gore-Tex version of the Asics GT2012 is an excellent shoe. If you're looking for a neutral version of this, the Cumulus also comes in a GTX and a Gore-Tex, so I'll link that in the description below. If you're looking for a shoe that's not a premium price, so a shoe that's $100 or below, then we've got the Asics Gel-Pulse. So it has a different type of cushioning than the other four shoes. It's got the FlyteFoam cushioning underneath, so it's a little bit stiffer, not as soft as some of the other shoes. It's a little bit snappier, so it feels a bit firmer underfoot, and it helps with the energy return and propulsion phase of the gait cycle. But you do notice and feel a little bit more of the vibration when you hit the ground. Not necessarily a bad thing, just a different sensation. It's got some mild support via some sidewalls on either side of the shoe, and it's got a little bit of sole flare, but not as much as what you'd see in the Cumulus, and definitely not as much as what you'd see in the Gel Kayano. On top, it's got a nice engineered mesh. It's got a nice wide toe box. It does taper a little bit early. We didn't have any issues with size, but some people might find it a tiny bit tight. It will stretch a little bit, but just something to be aware of. It's got a mildly padded tongue on top that's not gusseted, so that's one of the other features that you typically see in a more premium shoe, is that they stitch the tongue in so it doesn't slip from side to side, and it's got some moderate padding on the heel counter. If you're looking for a more stable shoe that's under $100, then you might look at the Asics GT-1000 version 13, which we have a review on in the description below. Then finally, we've got the Asics Gel-Nimbus 26, which is one of their most popular shoes. Again, it's what we'd classify as a neutral stable shoe. So it's a neutral bed, but has some elements of stability. So it has some big sidewalls on either side of the heel counter. It's got loads of cushioning in it. So it's 41.5 millimeters of cushion at the back of the shoe, 33.5 at the front, giving you an 8mm drop. So it's got the most amount of cushioning out of all 5 shoes. It's a little bit heavier as a result, so slightly lighter than the Kayano, but heavier than the other 3 shoes. It's got some sole flare on the forefoot as well. It doesn't perhaps have as much grip underneath as some of the other shoes like the Cumulus or the Kayano, and definitely not as much as what you get in the GT2000. But it is really good for if you want a nice, comfortable, luxurious, soft shoe. So the cushioning feels very similar to what you get in the Kayano, just without the stability elements. So you just sink into the shoe. It really feels like you're walking on a cloud. It's got a sock-like fit, engineered mesh on top, so you just slip into the shoe. It's super comfortable. It's got plenty of space in terms of the width of the shoe. It does come in a wider version, but again, it just pulls up a little bit short in the toe box. So we found that we just needed to get a half size up. It did stretch a little bit, but just if you're looking for walking comfort, you might think about getting a half size up in the Cumulus 26. Otherwise, it's got a much thinner tongue on top than the other shoes that is gusseted, and it's got that luxurious padding around the heel counter that you get in the Kayano, which just adds to that comfort, but it does add to that extra weight as well. So if you're looking for one of the most comfortable, softest shoes on the market that's a neutral stable, then you look at the Gel-Cumulus 26. We've got links to all shoes in the description below. If you buy through the links, it helps fund the channel but doesn't affect the price of the shoes. If you don't buy through the links, just liking, subscribing or sharing the video really makes a big difference to the channel. If you've got any questions on the shoes, please leave them in the comment section below. Hope you found it helpful, and thank you for watching the video.